Every day, somewhere in the world, normal people risk life and limb just getting from A to B. In far-off countries and isolated, forgotten villages, our camera crews follow the journeys of those brave enough to travel on the world's toughest, most dangerous and deadly roads. Buckle up for a hell ride. This is Deadliest Journeys.
In the depths of China, the town of Gongshan is slowly coming to life. It's 7 o'clock in the morning and the single communal taxi that serves the border crossing into Burma is being prepared for the grueling journey. This guy Fong is heading back home to see his grandmother, one of the few remaining ethnic Lisus. He is taking with him a special gift, a pedigree pig that will be used for breeding. But he's worried the animal might die on the journey, considering the awful conditions. Ever since China's economy took off 30 years ago, the nation's roads have been considerably improved. This road in the middle of nowhere in the Duong Valley is the only route open between China, Burma and Tibet. The Duong Valley is still a wilderness, thousands of square kilometres of jungle. Its only inhabitants are slowly disappearing. The communal taxi left the city of Gongshan just over an hour ago, and the paved road has given way to a dirt track. The road conditions start to deteriorate, and a fellow driver has bad news about the road ahead. Mobile phone signals are pretty much non-existent from here on in. It's vital that before they continue their journey, they call their loved ones and tell them exactly where they are. As the taxi disappears into the mist, the road narrows as it follows cliff tops that drop vertically down hundreds of meters. As they turn the corner, they approach the dangerous tunnel they have been warned about.
5 km， 5 km 10 km。
这个隧道会塌方是吧？
塌方了吗？有一部分还没用，已经加到塌方线上。
The tunnel was started back in the 1980s, but has never been completed. For 30 years, the locals have been risking their lives each time they use it. It's a 400-metre gauntlet of danger, especially during the monsoon season when the rain loosens the rock face. In the heart of the tunnel, the guys have come across a traffic jam due to another truck being wedged in this small, tight tunnel. In a crazy move to free the truck, the drivers decide to cut through the beams that are the main support for the tunnel structure. Without the beams, some of the drivers are nervous that the vibrations of their trucks will create a rockfall. After a 2-hour wait, the taxi finally makes it out. There's just another 50 kilometres to go to their final destination, but the worst part of the journey is still ahead. Also driving in the region is Ding Wei. He is one of the so-called mineral prospectors. In recent years, rich deposits of lead and tin have been discovered. Ding Wei is off to see whether his latest purchase will prove profitable. 6 months ago, he invested a big chunk of cash in a mine where he hopes to find lead. Up till now, there's been no trace of the elusive mineral. But if he does find it, he can expect to become a millionaire in a few months. But a few kilometres further on, the road decides otherwise. This time it's the road itself that has been swept away. It's pretty tight, but they squeeze past the landslide. There is still 20 kilometres to the lead mine, a short distance to have suffered the trials of hell for so long. If Ding Wei makes it in one piece, it will mean riches or ruin. Over on the far side of the valley, the communal taxi and all of the passengers are having a rough ride. The driver has to concentrate all his attentions to keep control of the vehicle and to avoid losing what is stacked on the roof.
观察有人用了。
有东西掉了。
掉了。啊！全部拉完了。我太下过来了，没见到过。抓住那个。我现在摸的踩起的嘞。继续不来。啊，是个人。而且让他的腿死。
The poor little pig got injured when it fell.
已经点了，把肠子都点出来了。肠子。
真的？
真。没事。
The pig and the taxi arrive at their destination almost intact. It has taken them 15 hours to cover the 80-kilometre route, a journey that should only take 6 hours.
高兴吗？
The 15-hour journey has earned Cheng 100 yen per passenger, an equivalent to 60 euros, which is not bad money for this area.
说疼不疼？踩一点，自己不换一随便踩一点就好了。
The pig that has travelled all this way is for Fong's grandmother, who owns a small restaurant in the village.
婆婆你好。
The 85-year-old lady has lived here all her life and has some painful memories. During the 40s, the region was under Tibetan domination.
是那些。
但那俺只有些，北走路就被忙人没家，早晨那路，
是。
我就好大被走路，我就没。
The balance of power has now changed dramatically. The women of the valley no longer live in fear of the Tibetans, whose closest villages are just a few kilometres away. High up in the mountains there is a monastery, which is home to about 10 monks. Their days are spent praying and in meditation. Chang is 22 and is the youngest monk. His mission is to convert the valley people to Buddhism.
现在我们比较他们，但很多这个，藏族那个信教徒嘛，都是很难预定这个自己的希望。这个地方以前的最少这个信教。
Ever since Tibet was annexed by China in 1950, Tibetans, and especially Tibetan monks, have been closely monitored, suspected by the Chinese government of fostering hopes of independence among the population and inciting a revolution. Chang's Chinese converts have come up to help rebuild a temple that was destroyed by the Chinese government. They could get into a lot of trouble if they are seen with the monk, but it's a risk they're willing to take for their religion. In return, Chang hooks them up with a few prayers and some booze.
就是我出一点那个酒钱，这样他们都是那个信教徒嘛，帮助我信帮助他们是自己也是佛教信教徒的话帮助这样，但我们都是要求平安。你看这，你看没有？垃圾慢倒去，慢慢倒不得，你看这也倒着，公咖啡倒着。
The monk has every right to be concerned. The speedometer may be new, but the truck is ancient and the engine needs regular checking. To save his engine, the driver has a trick up his sleeve. Downhill he free wheels, engine off, foot on the brake. But at the foot of the hill, the climb up the next slope will take time and patience. The truck can barely reach 10 kilometers an hour. The engine is on the brink of overheating. He's bodged together this homemade tap to keep the engine cool. It's the last truckload, and now work on the new pagoda can finally begin. Chang is hoping the Chinese government will allow him to expand his monastery so that he can house up to 30 monks. But the slightest sign of unrest in Tibet, the government will come down hard on the monks and shut down the temples. On the slopes opposite the temple is Fong's village. Today is a big day as it marks the start of the hunting season. To earn some extra bucks, Fong hunts flying squirrels. These are considered a delicacy in this region. In these parts, the squirrel-killing weapon of choice is the crossbow. In the valley, almost no one owns a gun. The cartridges are far too expensive. Preparing for the hunt is a long and meticulous process. While his friends finish making the arrows, Fong goes on ahead. It is his job to open up a path to their hunting cabin. It's a 3-hour-long trek through the jungle. Fong is concerned about the humid conditions. They are no good for his crossbow. It causes the strings to stretch and lose its power, and the wood to expand, meaning the bow will be far less accurate. For deadly snakes and other creatures that might be harmful, Fong has brought along a potion that is meant to ward them off. It's 7 o'clock and the hunt gets going. To make the evening profitable and put bread on the table, the hunters will need to kill at least 30 squirrels. To lure out the animals, he imitates the sound of a female squirrel. In their pursuit of squirrels, they come across this deadly snake. So far, the squirrels are proving elusive, and all they've caught is this blood-sucking leech. The hunt has got off to a very poor start, but they have another 2 weeks to reach their target of 500 flying squirrels. It's the moment of truth for Dingwei, the fortune hunter. He'll soon know whether he was right to invest in the mine. He's hoping to find lead, which in China is worth the same as gold. Every time he visits, he brings some small presents for his miners to cheer them up. Today, he brings some hens. Digging each shaft can take up to 6 months. The miners rarely go back to town and often work in shifts, day and night, to extract the lead from the 20 or so mines that have been dug into the mountains. About 100 men and very few women live here in tough conditions. It's a harsh, male-dominated environment in which the ladies try and maintain at least some of their femininity.
你手里拿的什么东西啊？
就是我们打到这里边的矿是吗？
这个矿石的量含量高吗？
这个不高，
哦，
这个可能只有10多个点点。还有其他的。开头这就应该投100多米才合适。如果情况好的话，一天有几十上百万的收入，每天就可以，就是可以一天做一次百万富翁。所以赌的为什么要赌，就是为这个。这你最清楚。
The tunnel stretches for 400 metres into the pits of the earth. The gas and humidity irritates the eyes and throat.
完全就过去了嘛。那就，它原来都是安了电灯的，电灯的它现在就是这个灯还比电灯好用一点。你晃下外头来。好。那你怎么进来了？
不超过这个位置都可以开。
因为你在这儿已经玩过了都。
哎，你走到就在这个位置，这个区域头你们选嘛，这儿的要从这个位置到这个位置这个地方。
The mine is a labyrinth with dozens of galleries, and in order to save money, none of them have been reinforced. Security here is not a major concern.
你以后还继续做这个工作吗？
继续做嘛，肯定要做噻，不做。
不想做别的了。
我们在东头做惯了，外边去就那种没那种安气没到油嘛，就是在上面吊棚打到油嘛，泡炸到的油嘛。
就从那个100米位置过来，要不然几十米就把这个引就要把棚。
当时我们的人是看的，
在这个有点，就这个手头有点。说是矿河啊。
人家一眼看他就不成器，有自己指点儿了。
但是他不是这个问题啊。
今天算走的比较深的。
它就是这个吧，它大概有400米左右。
In a few months, Dingwei could be seriously loaded. If he does strike it lucky, news of his find would spread fast, and this peaceful valley could soon be swarming with greedy prospectors.